Hello again. In the United States during much of the 19th century, towns in the expanding territories in the west of the nation frequently lacked police forces, sheriffs, and a proper judicial system. The absence of such institutions was made up for by the citizenry, who formed vigilance committees to maintain the peace and sometimes apprehend and punish lawbreakers. The active members of such vigilance committees became known by the abbreviation vigilantes, and these days the name has unsavoury connotations. One thinks of Charles Bronson in the film Death Wish. Nevertheless, the vigilantes performed a useful, indeed vital function in frontier towns and prevented society from descending into chaos, where the lives of men were likely to be, as Thomas Hobbes put it, nasty, brutish, and short. Of course, we in Britain have grown used over the centuries to having properly regulated courts and police forces to preserve our property and lives, keep the peace, and bring criminals to justice. Except, of course, this no longer happens. We all know that if one's home is burgled or car stolen or vandalised, that the police are not really interested and assume that the only problem might be monetary loss. So they will issue a crime number and leave it up to the victim to claim from his insurance policy. This is the only reason these days why most people bother to report crimes at all. The general feeling lately about the police is that they are not really on the side of ordinary law-abiding folk, but are more concerned about people having right-wing opinions or saying the wrong thing on social media than they are in tracking down muggers and burglars. There is the increasingly strong belief, too, in the existence of two-tier policing, where the interests of ethnic minorities, homosexuals and Muslims trump those of the majority straight white population. This feeling, and it's growing stronger day by day, is not good for society because it causes people to say to themselves that if the police won't tackle crime, then they might as well do so themselves. We see the foreshadowing of such a state of affairs with the so-called paedophile hunters, who trap men online who are trying to meet up with underage girls, for example. Then, too, in some areas there have been unofficial patrols of the streets by men concerned about antisocial behaviour or hooliganism near their homes or involving their families. Let me be clear, I do not think this sort of thing is good, but it is, I fear, inevitable if the police and judiciary no longer appear to serve our needs or be doing the job which we expect them to do. A lot of people now not only have no faith in the police, but are feeling a little hostile towards them because they have the idea that the police are hostile towards them. This kind of division, when the law-abiding majority can no longer trust in or rely upon the civil authorities to protect them, gives rise inevitably to the same sentiments which prompted people to form vigilance committees and to take an active role in defending their own property and families. It would be really good if the police began behaving as they once did, by catching criminals and keeping the streets safe for ordinary citizens. Otherwise, people really will start taking care of matters like this by themselves.